Happy Monday evening. I'm Riley King. Welcome to this Monday evening edition of the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. We have a lot of news to get to this Monday evening, so let's get started right now. First up, defense says man was suffering from mental illness when friend killed. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Well, Jimmy, we first heard those opening statements this morning. We have now moved on to witness testimony. Hassan Sapri is facing multiple charges, including first-degree murder. Sapri is accused of killing 57-year-old Wilfred Guzman in the victim's Laconia townhouse back in April of 2019. Prosecutors say Sapri used a sword, kitchen utensils, and other weapons during the attack, causing over 140 wounds on Guzman's body. The motive, prosecutors say Sapri was angered over a discussion he had with Guzman regarding race and religion. Sapri's lawyers are arguing that he is not guilty based on the reason of insanity, adding that Sapri started experiencing psychological issues years before the murder when he was exposed to atrocities while growing up in Iraq.
This murder was not a break with reality, and it was not an unexplained blackout caused by acne pills or mental illness. This act was premeditated, first-degree murder, and nothing else. This was a murder that was thought about and planned beforehand.
He suffers from a major mental illness. He suffered that night. The result of that defect, that disease, was the death of his friend, Wilfred Guzman.
And at one point during opening statements, Sapri became emotional, crying into his hands as the defense described his friendship with Guzman, a loving one at that, says the defense. Now, this trial is scheduled to last until September 2nd. Reporting in Laconia, I'm Tim Callery, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. School board meeting expected to discuss stalking charges against former New Hampshire bus driver. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Factors could be particularly relevant to a common...
Forward is giving companies unique plans and solutions for their organization, and their organization alone. PNC Bank. See how we can make a difference for you.
Right, Marissa and Steve, the clock is ticking until that meeting, and parents are expected to come here and ask questions, make their concerns heard after that bus driver was charged with facing stalking charges, rather. Officials say 40-year-old Michael Chick allegedly stalked an 8-year-old boy on his bus route. Investigators say it started with gifts, candy, and a get-well card, then escalated. The boy's parents complained to the school district after Chick asked if he could come to their son's Little League game, according to court filings. Officials say in July, the child's parents discovered cell phones in their son's bedroom, the boy admitting they were from Chick. Chick allegedly threatened the boy when he resisted taking photos of himself and sending them, saying if he didn't take these pictures, a gang would kill his family. The court paperwork also says a buttonhole-style surveillance camera, tracking devices, a large baggie of children's underwear, and handwritten notes to the child, including instructions on how to take the photos, were also found in Chick's car. Again, we're expecting parents to come here, make their voices and concerns heard at that meeting. There is also a tip line where you can give any information you have on this investigation. You can find that number on our website and mobile app. Live in Greenland, Grace Finerman, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Poll shows issue of abortion may motivate New Hampshire voters in the fall. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
Demand the best for your vision with the latest Essilor lens technologies at your local Essilor expert.
This summer, the abortion issue has become increasingly important for some Granite State voters. A new St. Anselm College Survey Center poll of nearly 2,000 registered voters shows that when asked for their personal position on abortion, 71% identify as pro-choice, 25% describe themselves as pro-life, and 3% are unsure. When it comes to the Supreme Court's overturning of the Roe v. Wade decision that ensured national abortion rights, just 38% support that ruling, 58% oppose it, and 5% are unsure. And some eye-opening results on voter motivation. When asked how important the issue of abortion will be in determining their vote in the upcoming elections, 60% responded extremely or very important, while 40% said it would be somewhat or not important.
The big takeaway is that people who are pro-choice are very motivated as they go towards the midterms. That could spell trouble for people who are not pro-choice or pro-life on the ballot.
Republican leaders in Concord have said the late-term abortion ban passed last year is where they are drawing the line. But according to this poll, many voters believe there are more restrictions still to come.
When asked if they believe access to abortion in New Hampshire will become more restricted in the future, 32% of registered voters said yes, 33% said no, and 35% were unsure. Adam Sexton, WMUR News 9.
Okay, there you go on that video and that report. Teenage boy seriously hurt in ATV crash in Cambridge, officials say. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9.
A 15-year-old from Massachusetts has serious injuries after an ATV crash in Cambridge, New Hampshire. According to Fish and Game, the boy was traveling with 8 other riders when he failed to navigate part of the trail and was thrown off his ATV as it started to roll downhill. He was flown to Dartmouth Hitchcock Medical Center. Investigators say excessive speed may have contributed to the crash.
Okay, there you go on that video and that report. Governor Charlie Baker, MBTA leaders urge patience as their 30-day Orange Line shutdown nears and approaches. Let's take a listen to that video from WCVB Boston.
MassDOT says this is what traffic looks like on a typical weekday morning. And this is what it may look like after the Orange Line shutdown. More red means more headaches.
We're asking everybody, all travelers, to adjust their commutes if necessary and if they can.
Starting Friday night, Orange Line service will shut down for 30 days. It's a move that Governor Baker and T officials say will allow crews to complete 5 years worth of maintenance work.
I acknowledge that this closure will be disruptive. but people want and deserve safe and reliable service, and we want to give it to them.
The T is offering alternatives. Riders are encouraged to take the commuter rail, which will make extra stops to accommodate Orange Line users. Free shuttle buses will also run with bus-only lanes in some areas. But extra buses on the road and fewer lanes for other traffic will lead to more congestion for all commuters.
Travelers along 93, Route 1, and the Fellsway should especially expect some additional traffic congestion in some periods, as much as 20%.
Governor Baker is confident the T will wrap up work in 30 days because crews will have around-the-clock access.
We get the fact that the next 30 days are going to be difficult. But if the T can truly deliver 5 years worth of night and weekend work on the system overall, that's going to be a real benefit, yes, down the road to riders.
Now, those shuttle buses will be free, and if you choose to take the commuter rail, that will be free as well. You can show your Charlie card in certain zones, and you will be allowed on. You won't have to tap and charge against your account. Live in Boston, Sarah Conji, WCVB News Center 5.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Not just trains. Orange Line shutdown expected to cause severe traffic congestion in the Boston region. Let's take a listen to that video from WCVB Boston.
These shutdowns will have a substantial regional travel impacts beyond just transit users. Our engineers have model anticipated roadway impacts, and it is evident that the shutdown will produce significant congestion that will be felt throughout the region. You can see these on these boards here to my right. All roadway users, whether you drive, bike, or walk, you will see changes in your everyday commute, and your commute will likely be longer in these areas. There are numerous roadway modifications that are necessary in order to support the MBTA's replacement bus shuttles. And in order to safely provide priority for the shuttle service, roadway capacity along the diversion route will be effectively cut in half in some areas. This means that traffic congestion will grow throughout the region and will be evident on interstates, numbered routes, and connected local roadways. And this includes a number of key intersections like Charles Circle, Leverett Circle, and Sullivan Square. Travelers along 93, Route 1, and the Fellsway should especially expect some additional traffic congestion in some periods, as much as 20%. And I want to give a special warning to vulnerable road users like cyclists and pedestrians. The shuttle buses that are being implemented here are not the same as MBTA buses. They have different turning radius and they have different blind spots for drivers. If you are walking or biking near these shuttle buses, near this route, you need to be extra vigilant, especially around these bus stops and around turns and intersections. Some of the roadway impacts that are expected will start as early as this week, when work begins to start to reconfigure travel lanes and turning lanes necessary for the shuttles to safely navigate the diversion route. All roadway users will start to see and should expect to be impacted by this work starting as early as today. And I know that some of the transit users may be considering driving as an alternative to the shuttle buses. I assure you that that is not a good option, and you should look to other transit options such as the commuter rail, as the GM suggested. Traffic congestion is expected to be severe. As with a number of previous large traffic impact projects, in order for these diversions to be manageable, we need the help of the traveling public. We are urging travelers to evaluate their commute and, if possible, adjust. Look for a route that avoids the shuttle diversion if you must drive in, and shift your travel time to off-peak hours. If possible, avoid the region altogether until the diversion period has concluded.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Police search for suspect in Chicago Six Flags shooting. Let's take a listen to that video from NBC News.
A manhunt was launched overnight after 3 people were shot outside of the Six Flags Great American Theme Park near Chicago. A park spokesman says the shots were fired from a vehicle in the parking lot. 2 of the victims had to be taken to the hospital. Officials believe they were targeted. The park was closed early so police could investigate to make sure there was no active shooter.
Okay, and there you
Thanks
go.
for watching our YouTube channel.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. And that is it for this evening edition of the Riley King Newscast right here on the Riley King Network. Thank you for tuning in and watching. Have a great rest of your evening. And I'll see you back here tomorrow for another newscast. Good night and goodbye, everyone.